For those of you who don't know me, my name is Louis Scott. I'm a cyclist, a little bit of a YouTuber, where I seek to produce cycling videos that are designed to help new to intermediate cyclists integrate properly into the sport, focusing first and foremost on safety, riding technique, the culture of the sport, fitness, nutrition, and things like that. I've been cycling in South Florida since 1989, so most of my adult life has been spent as a cyclist. Crazy about the sport, passionate about the activity, the bikes, the community, the relationships, and the experiences. The last 72 hours have been the toughest that I've had to endure since I've been involved in this sport. We recently lost a friend, a colleague, a companion, a fellow cyclist, a husband, a father, and a human being. And by all accounts, a great guy. His name is Roy Miralda. On Saturday morning, I was meeting up with the Wee Woo crew, that's their name, and we were getting ready to embark on a 118-mile ride. As most of us were already at the meetup spot doing our pre-ride routine, we heard a loud popping sound. Nobody really knew what it was at the time, but it was distinctive and it caught our attention, and people had made expression like, "Dadgum, what is that?" About 2 minutes later, one of our fellow cyclists came into the parking lot, panic-stricken, and saying, hey guys, it looks like somebody got hit. I believe it's one of us because he's wearing our jersey, and it looks like he's dead, yo. Those were the words from Sapo. And a cold chill comes over you as a cyclist when you hear that a cyclist got hit. And we kind of scrambled around and we made our way. It was only about a block away from where we were, only to find Roy's lifeless body laying in the street with a police officer standing over him. At the time, we didn't know it was Roy. We were not sure. We tried to identify him, but he was laying face down, so we really couldn't tell. Somebody said they think it's Roy, but they're not sure. And as cyclists, we identify each other not so much by our physical appearance, but more by the bike that we ride. So somebody said, what bike is it? What kind of bike is it? So I went over with my bike light, and I tried to get a visual of the bike, but I really couldn't because the bike was completely destroyed. The police officer, who I later found out was also a cyclist, said it's a black S-Works, a blacked out S-Works. Kay, one of our cyclists, said, "Yeah, man, that's Roy. Look at the helmet, that's Roy." At that point, everybody was really hit, really shook up. People deal with grief and incidents like that differently. I can say everybody was stunned. We didn't know what to do. Nobody said much. It really hit us hard. 2 days after that event, Kay, who was on the scene, posted a WhatsApp announcing that he had been hit on William Lehman Causeway. William Lehman Causeway is a thoroughfare in northeast Miami-Dade. There's a green path, meaning a brightly painted green bike lane, which Kay was in it, and he got hit from behind the same way how Roy was hit. Fortunately, Kay's life was spared. He was shook up. We were all shook up. We're all incensed. Why does this keep happening? About a month ago, on my way to one of my rides, Richard Chin, who every once in a while I'll meet Richard Chin on the way on Western Road, and Richard was standing on the side of the road. Usually as a cyclist, when you see another cyclist in that situation, you think it's a flat or something like that.
Yo, you good?
I'm gonna get off my bike.
I immediately stopped, turned around. It turns out that he was sideswiped by a vehicle. The vehicle stopped about a quarter of a mile away from where it had hit Richard. The driver could see what was going on, apparently in his rearview mirror. When he saw Richard get up and start moving around, he took off. Vehicle was never identified. Richard suffered multiple fractures to his hip, was bruised, emotionally really hurt. Richard and I texted a few minutes ago as we talked about what happened with Roy. He told me he saw the pictures. And when he saw the pictures, he immediately began to cry. Something needs to be done. I'm not sure what we can do. I'm not even sure how we solve this problem. I'm not even sure where the conversation begins. I've been asked over and over again by fellow cyclists, this is happening too much. What can we do? Can we get a community forum, police involvement, get the media involved? See, those of you who are new in the sport, one of the things that you may not realize is that this has been played before. We've been here before. We've had outrage before. We've had forums before. We've gotten the media involved before. We've had community discussions before. And one of the things that I can truly say is that there's an increase of hostility towards cyclists. There's no question about that. There's less patience on the road. There's more distraction. But I also feel like there's a heart issue. I don't know how you legislate or even begin to deal with the heart issue of a person who hits another person and leaves them for dead. In Kay's situation, the lady who came into the bike lane and hit Kay, her report to the police officer was that Kay swerved in front of her. The underlying problem there is a problem of humanity. 3 weeks ago, a friend of mine and I, Chris, embarked on a major ride. Chris and I were in the bike lane, and one of the things that we noticed was not only were they coming close to the bike lane, many times motorists ended up in the bike lane with us. At one point, I was able to be in the bike lane and tap on a person's fender because they were that close to me. The law says 3 feet. This is not 3 feet, and my hand was not fully extended. And even me doing that to the driver, he just seemed completely oblivious. I also had a driver try to intimidate us by inching up to us as we were going by on a stop sign. He kept inching up to us to the edge of the stop sign. And when he did get on the road and he went past us, right after he passed us, he fully put his vehicle into the bike lane. I don't know you, you don't know me. I'm not doing anything to you other than that I'm riding my bike. The only thing that I can think of that we can try to do is humanize ourselves, and I'm not sure how we do that other than to say, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a father, I'm a friend, and most of us can pretty much tell you the same thing about our lives. Most of us are pretty decent people. If you met us, you probably enjoy getting a beer with us or hanging out with us. But in light of not having anything to say in terms of a solution and just a plea for a little bit of space, respect, and consideration from the motoring community, I'll say this. Cycling is a wonderful sport. Not only is it an incredible benefit in terms of the physical benefits that it lends to you, but also the cognitive benefits, the health benefits that it lends are unquestionable. If as an adult, you're not a cyclist, you haven't ridden a bike in a while, my hope is that you'll give it a try, that you'll throw a leg over a bike and rediscover the joy that riding a bike gave you as a kid. If not you, then my hope is for somebody that you care about or one of your loved ones. My sincere hope is that if one of your loved ones decides to get involved in the sport of cycling, and we'll do everything we can to show them how to be an effective and safe cyclist, my hope is that the motorists on the roads will treat them with the same consideration and respect that you currently afford to the cycling community.